Well, let's bring in political analyst and professor at Curtin University, Joe Siracusa, now for a chat on a Monday morning, as we always do. Joe, good to see you. So we saw the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the weekend. What are some of the lessons of the war on terror from 9/11 and up until the recent withdrawal of Afghanistan?
Good morning, Pete. Well, look, the main lesson is, and this was President Bush's doctrine at the time, was he says if you harbor a terrorist, we're going to treat you like a terrorist. So that was the basis of America's strategy for the next several years. That's why we went to war against Afghanistan and then Iraq and all the rest of it. And it was very unpopular around the world. I mean, it wasn't UN sanctioned. America only had a handful of allies. So, we realize now that if we're going to go to war and different places, we have to have a bigger base behind us. That is, we have to have more popular support in the world. Now, we didn't have that. Now, I want to say something about this commemoration. Keep in mind, Biden is my 15th president in my lifetime, so I got to see a lot of this stuff. Look, the war on terror was very successful in one sense. On 9/11, America was attacked, not by some ancient religion or a bunch of fanatics. It was attacked by 19 guys with box cutters who slipped right through American security and lines, etc. And then we responded with these enormous wars at enormous cost, etc. The response was probably disproportionate. And the war on terror, I mean, I know it had a lot of problems later on in Afghanistan and other places where it created even more problems than we tried to solve. The war was very successful. I might even say here in Australia, too. The whole point of the war on terror in the Western nations was to prevent attacks on the homeland. America has not had a single attack on homeland in 20 years, and Australia has been safe, too. So we're going to give high marks to the security and counter-insurgency people and even the intelligence community. I always give them a very bad time because failure's failure. And, this is all based on the great model was all intelligence today in America is based on avoiding another Pearl Harbor. Did we avoid Pearl Harbor on that day? No, we were penetrated very simply. And what bothered me on 9/11 was that the president of the United States and his top advisors were watching events unfolding on CNN. I mean, television people like yourself who do all this hard work were instructing the government about what was happening. So I thought, my goodness, they're one step behind. But look, the war on terror has had mixed results, but it has avoided an attack on the homeland, and I think that's a real plus thing. And I know there's a lot of emphasis here on the negative, but I'll tell you what. 19 guys with box cutters are going to think twice before they enter any other country like Australia or France or Britain, because I don't think they can do that anymore. Is life more uncomfortable? Yes, it is. Taking air flights is now a pain in the neck. But is the price we have to pay? Yes, it is. Will Joe Biden benefit from this? I still think he's got a heavy price to pay for the sloppy way that he got out of Kabul.
Tell you what, on the weekend, Joe, I don't know if you've caught it yet, but there's a new documentary out. National Geographic's done it. It's called One Day in America, and it's a 6-part series on 9/11. It's some of the most brutally honest recollections from witnesses I think I've ever seen. 20 years, you think you've seen all of the pictures that have ever been broadcast on 9/11, but there you have it. It's well worth a watch if you haven't caught it already. One Day in America. Joe, good to see you.
I'll look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Chat to you soon.